5, 4,
3,
2, 1.
Hello, everybody.
how's it
Happy
going?
Friday. Thanks for joining us on this fine Friday night, Saturday morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Ladies Discourse. And how are you going, lovely Serena?
I'm doing good. How about
What's
you?
been happening? Yeah, I'm great. Thanks. Great. And what's been happening?
Not much. Just Hex keeps going up, so that's like the most exciting thing right now.
Absolutely. It's been a wild month, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It just
Like the
keeps
last
going.
time we streamed. Sorry.
Just keeps going up. You get an all-time high, and then you get another new one. You're going, what?
Like the last time we streamed, I think it was 13 cents or something. So, or maybe it was only like 20 cents. I don't remember now, but it's crazy.
That is just insane.
We're gonna be at $1 like really soon. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's just awesome. Hello, everyone in the chat. We got some special guests today. We've got the captain coming in. I don't know if he wants to. Oh, no, I don't think he's coming in at all. All right. We've got some lovely new lady hexicans, so we'd like you to make them feel welcome. We've got bringing Base Wife on now. Hello, Base Wife. How you going today?
Hi, fine. How are you? How is everyone?
Really good, thanks. Really good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really, really honored to be here.
Oh, that's great. And thanks for coming. And we'll just bring Victoria in too. The more the merrier. Hey, Victoria, how you going?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for coming. It's lovely to meet you.
The same.
We'll just say hello to the chat. Serena, can you see the chat there on yours?
Yep.
All right. Who have we got? We've got Paul Chavez, Alan Feels Aim. Oh, you're saving that for tonight. Hex and Effect. Mel Tony, thank you for shedding your lovely price updates. That's really appreciated in chat. Matt C, Hex on the Beach, DiGiolo 007, Hex Fetty, Hex in Effect, Al Morales, David Morales, how you going, mate? Al Merlos, Cheetah Weston, Marcavelli, what's going on? Open Mind, Block Wing, he says it's so exciting. We only get the show last Friday of every month. And thanks for coming, Block Wing. We like to bring it to you. Cypher Jock, OQC Organics, Dexter 6961, Hexagon American, and BMA, Hello Wealth, Mango Junkie, J43. Thanks for joining in, guys. So this is a ladies' discourse where we basically talk about our stories, how we got into Hex, and the female community is growing even more every day. So it's lovely that you could join us. Shall we start with Victoria? We've seen you on Twitter, getting right into the posting, telling us a little bit about your life, and it sounds really exciting. Did you want to tell us a bit about your story with Hex?
Yeah, I can start by saying I FOMO'd in a long time ago. Haven't been active on social media. I actually created this Twitter just for Hex a while ago. Love everything about it. Love Richard, the community. Can't wait for Pulse. So it's great. It's awesome. And the content that the community produces is just awesome.
That's really cool. And Victoria, you said you're a truck driver.
Yeah.
Construction. So, that's a really cool job for a chick. So did you want to tell us a little bit about it?
I started out in an office dispatching truck drivers, and one day I just decided, hell, I want to drive a truck, and I just started.
Awesome.
So I went a little more into the construction, so driving wheel loaders, excavators, or what's it called in English?
Excavator.
Truck, yeah, excavator. But truck is like my favorite.
Awesome. And you're a mum as well, Victoria.
Yes, I am. I have a daughter that is 5 years old now.
Oh, that's awesome. Busy lady and a Hexican all at once. It's amazing.
Yeah, and she is also a mini Hexican. She has the
Oh.
555 stakes.
Oh, that's cool. That's amazing. Hey, Base Wife, before we go on with you, we'll just bring Blaze in quick. She's just in the green room.
True.
Hey, how's it going, chick?
G'day, guys. I'm good. How's everybody else doing?
Yeah, good. Good to see you. Glad you could make it.
I'm happy to be here. Hey, I'm happy to be here. It's great to see all you ladies. I've missed you all.
I missed you too. It's been a while.
It
How's
has.
things up in Sydney? All right.
Yeah, kind of same old as it's been the last 2-3 months. So just battling through the lockdowns and trying to make the best of it. And just using Hex to keep me distracted at the moment, which I think is the way to go.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you need something to do, don't you? So boring.
Absolutely.
So you guys are you still in hard lockdown up there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, not much has changed.
But you guys will get out once November comes, yeah?
Supposedly, I hope so. It's always hard to tell what they're going to do, but yeah, I think that's the plan for the moment. So we'll see how it all runs, eh?
Oh no, right? Same here, Blaze. Same. It's boring as shit, mate. Anyway, so Blaze, before I brought you in, we'll just up to Base Wife telling us a little bit about her Hex story. So if you want to tell us, and this is Base Wife and Victoria. This is Blaze, another female Hexican. If you want to go on, tell us a little bit about your journey with Hex.
Well, it's really short. I've been Hex barely 3 months, I think, and I'm just loving every minute of it. I should have got in about December. That's when I first heard of it, but I actually did think it was too good to be true, and I just didn't do all the research I should have back then. I just started following a bunch of Hexicans in Twitter, but not really, looking into the website or buying some to see how it worked. I just, followed passively. And then it got to a point that I said, no, this is too much. So I convinced my husband, because he's actually the one who's able to invest anything, but we got into Hex at about 8 cents. And we basically, from the day that we got $100 into it, day after, he said, no, we're going to go all in. This is way too awesome. He staked that same day because he was just trying to figure out how it worked. He said, hey, this is so much more calm. I'm not, thinking about the price so much, because this is there for 15 years and it's going to continue getting some interest. And the feeling that he had and that we both had when he changed some of it into Hex, it was such calmness, so nice to not be thinking so much about the price, that convinced us, and we wouldn't change it for the world. We're just awesome, completely sold into Hex, even though we've been here for a very short time, and we see the gains, but the gains is just a little bit of the awesomeness, because we were trying to trade and we were trying to do all this risky stuff that was also not very good mentally. So no, this is fabulous. It's much better.
That's fantastic. And you're obviously active on Twitter. We've seen your posts, which is amazing. And you're on Facebook as well. Are you in the Facebook Hex group?
Yeah, but I'm there with, my given name. This Base Wife was just a little bit of a joke between my husband and I. It's waifu is the way that people call Japanese manga or anime characters that are cute or something. So I'm like, hey, I'm your waifu. And no, you cannot just go saying that this or this other character is your waifu. I am the one. So that's just a little joke, but I like it.
Yeah, some people don't like to have their real names on social media, so that's why we always refer to anyone as their screen name. So that's up to you. If you want us to call you something else, that's also fine.
No, this is fine.
Cool. Serena Lonzi, did you want to? I know we've heard it, and I know you've heard my story. Did you want to talk about your journey or discuss anything?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure most people have heard our stories by now, but if you haven't, I've been in crypto since near end of 2017, and I've been holding ever since. I haven't sold anything. And then when Richard started making hex videos, I was like listening to all the stuff before, and yeah, I got in on day one, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Or I made hex videos. I was the first person other than Richard to make hex videos on YouTube. And I think that's it.
That's it. Cool. And Blake, did you want to share your journey at all?
Sure thing, Sammy. Yeah, I think for me, like I was involved in crypto in general from about 2017, and then at like the bottom of the last bear market, like I think Bitcoin was around like $3,000 US. I was like sitting there, and I was actually contemplating like going all in on Bitcoin, and I didn't do it. And then I just saw it, like, you know, obviously it went on that really crazy run, and I was like, no, you know, I should have done it. And I was like really, really dissatisfied. I was talking to one of my friends about this yesterday, but like because I felt kind of dissatisfied with my decision, it forced me to look, because I knew there was something not quite right about Bitcoin. I knew that the tech couldn't scale. I knew that it had all these problems, and I was like, there's got to be something better. And so, you know, that took me down a whole, as we like to say, shitcoin path. I was like there, I was doing the trader thing, I was trying out all sorts of stuff, and then one day, luckily enough, I came across, just by chance, one of like Hexo's videos hit my screen on YouTube. Like it was just in my recommended list, and it just sort of came up on autoplay one day, and I was like, this guy sounds like lots of fun. Like I don't even really know much about the project, but I was like, hey, sounds like a pretty decent idea. So I put a little bit of money into it, watched what happened, and then when I finally figured the whole thing out, like I was like, that's it. You know, I've really got to research this, and I've really got to invest here, and so I did. You know, sort of started to go in more heavily just before the big payday last year, and now I'm a very, very happy lady, and just been enjoying the ride. I'll tell you that.
That's so cool, Blaze. So cool. Yeah, Hex has just been amazing, and I'm also a very happy lady. I've got in. Everyone knows my story. 2017, I was in crypto, followed Richard Hart. Couldn't wait for Hex. Got in, and yeah, I've just been blown away by what's been happening. Serena Alonzi, I just wanted to point out this little chat. Did you see Funding Jim? Hi, Funding Jim. Serena Alonzi is the reason I am OG. That's amazing.
Oh, nice.
Did you know that?
Sorry, did I know that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's told me that before. So thanks for that. So
Oh,
I'm glad that you got in when you did, and that my videos were helpful to some people. So that's good to know.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Actually, Funding Jim is probably one of the reasons why I'm OG. I think after seeing Hexo, then I saw RG, and then I saw a stream with, I think it was Funding Jim and Johnny Chaos, and I just saw like the quality of people and the level that they were thinking at as well, and that this wasn't just some crazy, get rich quick scheme. Like this was a really well thought out, investment opportunity. So yeah, Funding Jim, I'll definitely hand you some credit there. You were definitely one of the early people that I heard in Hex.
That's amazing. Yeah, Funding Jim does some great work for the community. If you've seen him, his streams, always doing really cool stuff. So if you can check him out, and he talks about building wealth in the future, which is really exciting for everyone. So yeah, I wanted to jump straight into, I don't know if you saw Richard Hart's tweet. So he basically said the sacrifice stage for Pulsechain is still open. He says, as an Easter egg, the 1.05x daily increase is going to keep running. So anyone that's thinking about sacrificing for Pulse and was really put off by the bad rate, Richard Hart's announced he's going to honour that 1.05x. So, you know, if you want to get in now, it's still a great time for everybody. And hey, thanks for the super chat, Stianor. Let's go shout out to the Hex Nordic Facebook, Discord and Telegram. Love to you all, but Victoria, Norway is our girl. Hey, Victoria, you got some fans there cheering you on.
Hey.
Awesome.
Nice.
Are you in the Nordic group on Facebook, Victoria?
Well, there is a Hex Nordic community, and they're planning on starting a YouTube channel. I heard them talking about maybe Huddle Dog will be a part of it.
Oh,
So Hex Nordic, it's great to gather the Nordic community as well. I think the Australian one is big. The US is big. So, yeah.
Awesome. Crypto Ewok says, no, it's a terrible idea. Wait till it launches. You get a terrible rate. But you still are getting the 1.05x. So, yeah, if you want to listen to crypto, it's up to you. Just letting everyone know if they want to still do that. But, yeah, that's what he's saying. Testnet. Did anyone watch Cabana Crypto today?
that was a good one.
It's always fun. Cabana Crypto, always good to watch the show. You guys are really funny and entertaining. And David Feeder, who's so smart and amazing. Love you, David. He's involved in sort of the development side of things, and he was actually saying that the testnet is only hours away. So he said basically 72 hours. But yeah, he believes it will be this week. I believe most people have said minimum 2 weeks or maximum 2 weeks. So hopefully we can see that roll out soon. And I believe once it comes out, you'll be able to play around with it. So it means, you know, you can buy a fake pulse and basically, as David says, just try and hack and break the system. So if you want to be involved in that, that'll be a lot of fun.
That sounds fun, especially for people who know how to code. I guess that's like the main issue. I don't know if it's also for laymen. Like I don't know how to work with computers, but that's what my husband does, and he's actually trying to learn the ins and outs of Golang and the development languages that go into developing things for blockchain, and specifically what will be useful for Pulse. And maybe I'm going to try to get him to teach me, or well, he said he will. I just hope that
That's cool.
because I'm not very good with computers in general. But I think it's really awesome that there's already a community behind Pulse, because I've seen, as what you mentioned a little bit earlier, Blaze, that going down the shithole rabbit hole is something, I guess, that it's almost inevitable with crypto, or at least I was into that as well.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of the promise coins that don't really have that much of a community, and even those have been able to grow a lot. And on the other hand, the promise coins that do have a community, they grow like no one's business. And I think that means that the future of Pulse is that much brighter, because it's even much better, because there's already Hex in Pulse, which is a complete product. That's something that no one else has.
Absolutely. And also just the fact that there were so many people who were still kind of opposed to Hex or didn't see the value in Hex, that are more than willing to jump on, you know, with quite a lot of enthusiasm onto Pulse. You know, so I think that's going to be incredibly good for both of the ecosystems as well, because they see the they see that Ethereum has all of these problems. It can't scale. The fees are crazy. There's continual promises of, ETH 2.0 solving the problem, but it seems to just keep getting pushed back further and further over time. And so, they're jumping into Pulse. But I think also it's going to have this side effect of people finally coming to understand the value that Hex provides, as well as that store of value on the network. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to come that I'm really looking forward to watching play out as well.
Absolutely. And there's so many new hexagons coming in. I was just saying before, the ladies, like, there's so many new females as well, which is just amazing. And just in general, like, I know I'm following 20 new Twitter accounts, with new hexagons. So, it's definitely, I think it is going viral. There's so much happening in the space. People are starting to wake up and realize what's going on,
Yeah, and well, not to cover the mic, but I just think that there's a lot of value in one of the things that they were talking about. I think earlier I saw someone tweet about it, how hard it might be for some of the hexagons, especially the early hexagons, to get like a partner, to get a girlfriend or whatever that is not a hexagon. That's like, they probably have a harder time understanding the delayed gratification that is, part of the mindset. And I've seen it. I know I end up talking a lot about my husband because we've been in lockdown for the past year and a half, or well, not quite lockdown, but I've been just seeing him for a year and a half almost exclusively. So that's, all I can talk about. But there's this thing about being in the same page, not wanting to just spend and spend and spend, especially if they see the MetaMask account with a hell of a lot of zeros. It's like, hey, we can buy this and that. And it's very hard sometimes to go from a mindset of buying everything in sight when you don't have all that much money. And when you do get some, you just think about buying, to going into delayed gratification and into, well, yeah, maybe you can do a hex flex every now and then. And of course, you have to cover your basic necessities and everything. But it's not about just spending until it's gone. It's much more useful for it to be there and to be getting more interest because of the staking. And I think that it's a very real thing. I've heard a lot of Maddie Allin's streams, and one of the things he's talked about, the sudden wealth syndrome, I guess that's going to play a lot also when people are selecting someone to be a part of their life.
Absolutely.
Great point. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Hey, we've got another guest in who's coming on, who wrote to me and said that he's watches Discourse and he wants to come on and share his story as well. So we're just going to let him come on. His name's Paul. Watches Discourse and he wants to come on and share his story.
G'day, Paul.
Hi there. I'm trying to make sure that we're not hearing an echo, because I was hearing it on my side. Am I coming across clearly?
Yeah. Hi, Paul. Yeah. Welcome to Ladies Discourse.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful way to get introduced to Hex with the ladies. Wow, am I honored.
How are you going? Awesome. How are you going?
I'm doing phenomenal. Yeah, super great.
And where are you coming
to you all?
Where are you coming from today? What part of the world?
Albuquerque, New Mexico in the United States. If you guys, I don't know, Santa Fe's nearby here. Santa Fe, New Mexico is probably more on the map. Although, if you know about Breaking Bad, that was...
Yeah,
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Our claim to fame across the planet. How funny. And you know that, as I say more about myself, that will be even more ironic.
That's awesome. Well, we're all around from different parts of the world. So pleased to have you here. And we were just talking about how amazing Hex is and, you know, a little bit about our stories. Were you watching the stream when you came on?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And did you want to share your story with us? You've heard all of ours. Did you want to share your story about how you got into Hex?
Sure. I'd love to. So Richard Hart is just absolutely incredible to me. I mean, I think so. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I've spent most of my life consuming content from the internet. Like, I was blown away when the internet got started and you could get so much information, right? So if you're interested in philosophy or spirituality or empowerment, all these ideas that I'm fascinated with, like how to become more emotionally and spiritually powerful, happy, joyful, successful, empowered. And so in searching for that, I mean, the internet's been just a godsend to all human beings, right? Like, that's the way I look at it. I have a master's degree in mental health counseling. I'm a counselor, amongst other things. But so when I first saw Richard Hart, like, I binge watched everything he had, like all his content, right? And that was back like 4 years ago when he I think just came on the scene. I don't think he had much content before that. So somehow, thanks to the algorithms and YouTube, you know, he popped on my screen. I watched him and I immediately resonated with him. I feel like his authenticity, I mean, he's a genius. And for me, it's like, it was just amazing to like, stimulating for me, right? Like, just what he was talking about, how he came across, and even his personality. Like, when people would, you know, text, chat to him and try to put him down, like haters would say something and he would just hand them their ass. Like, he was so powerful in just defending himself and he was like, his confidence, all of that, right? So it just totally resonated with me, like everything about him. And I think that I wrote here, you know, Bitcoin, why Bitcoin? And Satoshi, I have a quote here: the root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that's required to make it work. The central banks must be trusted not to debase the currency, but this history of fiat currencies is full of breaches of that trust. And so I think of Bitcoin as like the grandparent, right? Like, if you don't have the grandparent, you don't have the grandchildren. And there's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's phenomenal. I can't say enough wonderful things about Bitcoin because it got us here, right? So it's so beautiful, this idea of how we take power back, you know, financial sovereignty and just how human beings become empowered and get off of this, you know, interest has been like the boot on the necks of human beings forever. Like, as long as we can go back in history, it's been used to keep people down, to buy, you know, it's a form of slavery. I mean, just money and interest and these things have always been corrupted. And as my philosophy of how to like empower communities and build ourselves up, Richard Hart is in the spirit of that completely, right? So Bitcoin opened the opportunity for that. That's how Richard found Hex, is through Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin attracted him. He was involved, and then he's an innovator and he's a genius, and so he's like, how do we do it better? And I mean, he just so nailed it, right? So Richard Hart, no central entity, bureaucracy, or overhead, and no bonuses awarded to anyone besides the users who stake Hex. As a simple-to-use, high-interest investment tool, Hex makes you the bank. Hex is censorship resistant. I mean, it truly is the Bitcoin idea, right? The empowerment of human beings. Like, I mean, so far it's 2 years, but so far, so good. So far, he and Hex are the better, more proven solution, in my opinion.
Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. And, you're right. Richard Hart is so amazing. He's such a cool, smart guy, and he's for the people. We've all watched him basically go through this torment with people. We've all watched the videos. We've seen what's happened. We've seen tweets, rubbishing him for no reason. Yet there is no proof that anyone is being scammed. Anyone at all. So, and he's so tough. Like, he'll get in there and he'll beat you down.
He's powerful. He's powerful. Yes. He's graceful. He's powerful. He's not, and for him to go live anytime with anybody, and he's done that. Like, this is the internet. Like, anybody can call him out and it will be out there. And if he's not gonna face them or address it, it's just everybody would know that. Like, he is 100% out there, and that's why I'm here right now, right? Is because I don't have any exposure. I'm just like the lurker, right? I'm like consuming the information as much as I can all the time, like years, like 20 years of that or whatever. It's been forever, but never putting myself out there. But Richard Hart and Hex has inspired so many people, and now, like, here I am, right, with you guys, and it's like I'm going to be on Rags to Riches on Sunday, and I'm going out there, like, I'm going to push my mission forward, right? I have a mission, and it's like, okay, I'm inspired, I'm motivated by Richard Hart, but even more importantly by everybody else that has joined in this Hexican movement. Like, wow, I could.
Yeah, and I think you make like a couple of like really really important points about Hex as well, because it had a little bit. The beginnings of Hex are somewhat different to a lot of the other cryptocurrencies, because I would almost say that Hex is like a personal development community disguised as a cryptocurrency community. Yeah. And I think this really, really sets it apart from so many of the other cryptos, like Bitcoin included. Like, Bitcoin was obviously that huge economic statement that you were mentioning earlier, that kind of idea of having a peer-to-peer currency, that power from the central banks and all that sort of stuff is really important and really inherent to Hex. But also, like, a lot of the people that got on board with Hex early on, and I wish I was one of them, were already following Richard for a lot of his personal development content, a lot of his videos, his ebooks, all that sort of stuff. And so now you have this set of people who not only want to make an economic impact in the world, but they also are incentivized to become better people, to do good things in the world. And I think this goes back to the point about delayed gratification earlier. Like, that's, I think, a big part of the reason why a lot of Hexicans are able to, like, have those diamond hands, because they see the impact that their dollars or their Hex could have 10 years from now rather than 10 minutes from now. So I think it's a very kind of unique cryptocurrency community that we find ourselves in, with a lot of those markers for long-term success as well.
Hey, sorry, cut in, but someone's blinging. They've got their notifications on. If anyone can just switch it off, that'd be awesome. Sorry, Blaze. Absolutely agree. It's just amazing. And just to remember, anyone who didn't get in on day one or the first, you're still very early. Everyone's early. There's plenty of meat on the bone. This is going like to the moon. Like, I hate to sound like a moon girl, but to put into perspective, Richard Hart's pretty much on his game, and if he says where it's going, then it's going there. And Pulse also is a second chance for everyone who really wanted that early start. So don't be disheartened. Everyone's doing amazing, and if you got in just now, it's going to continue to be amazing, and you're getting your copy, and Pulse is coming along, and there's so much exciting stuff in the space. Documentary trailer, anyone that Richard Hart posted, he's got a new documentary coming out.
I did.
Steve, it's ringing. Do you guys know how to turn that off? I don't. How do I turn that off? I'm sorry.
I don't know who it is. It might be me. I'm trying to.
I think it's me. I don't know how to turn it off.
What computers are you on an Apple Mac or something else?
A laptop, it's not a Mac. And every time like a message comes up, it just chimes.
You just jump into your system settings and jump into notification and just put do not disturb. It should be fine. So if anyone saw the trailer for the new documentary coming out, it's pretty damn amazing and exciting. It's basically a little bit about Richard Hart telling his story, just laying the truth down on the line. And there's some other Hexicans getting involved, which is also fantastic, telling them a little bit about your story. So I believe they are trying to pitch it to Amazon or Netflix, but, that'll be fantastic if we could see that. Hex does need more exposure, so that will be amazing. And also there's another documentary, Tom Gillespie, who's interviewed with Richard Hart, Vitalik Buterin, and also Peter Stiffy. He's doing another documentary, and he's an Australian journalist from Brisbane. So that's two that I know of. Now, I have heard a rumour that there's three, but do any of you ladies, have you heard of a third documentary anywhere along the line?
I heard of this second one that you were telling me about, but I just thought there was the one previously. So
Yeah, me too. I didn't know there were two.
Yeah, I think there may be a third one. But, anything that's coming up in regards to Hex is just going to be fantastic because there is such a big story behind it. And, if you're in early, you would have seen, just the absolute shit that Hexicans copped. Well, Richard Hart took it, as we all know, to the chin, and he copped it sweet, and he's been amazing. All of us have got so much to be thankful for Richard for doing such an amazing job and holding it up. Like he's sick in a good way, sick. Like he's just amazing. Yeah. So he's so super strong. Also, I wanted to bring up that we watched Richard Hart's stream the other day. I don't know if you did. The Bitcoin.org website got hacked. As we've already discussed, tons of progress, finishing up Pulse Testnet this week, hopefully. So that's a good sign. Documentaries coming out. Hex hit a new all-time high. So what was it? Did it get to 51 cents?
Right now, it's at 46, but I think there was a wick up.
Yeah.
Went up to 51.
And, it's not stopping.
Oh, no, right.
Because Richard changed his bio to 10,000x, so I think that means it had to have hit. It's either 51 or 56, I can't remember.
It hit 56, but it was the other day. Yesterday, it hit 51. And 56 was on September 10, apparently, if the chart is not lying to me.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, I know there's some sort of discrepancies between the pools and the charts.
Depends on.
But obviously, it's good enough for Richard, so we'll take it, hey?
Exactly. So, yeah, it must have hit the 56 cents. Because, it did the 10,000x within 2 years, which is just amazing. Richard Hart also put out a tweet saying that should we change the T shares to B shares, so trillion shares to billion shares. What do you, ladies and gentlemen, think about that idea? And chat, you can also, jump in, let us know what you think about that.
Oh, again, I'll just grab the mic. We managed to get a few T-shirts, but it's like very few. And I guess, it's getting harder and harder to get actual T-shirts. So 500 B shares, something like that, sounds a little bit more appealing sometimes, maybe for new people, than half a T-shirt, because of unique bias and all that. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I absolutely agree on that, because I see when I try to onboard new people and talk about T-shirts, many of them are like, okay, I'm too late because the t-shirt costs too much. I don't want this because B-share, what is that? So in some way, I actually think that just to call it share or shares, it can help to get more people in.
That's for sure.
Yeah, especially as price goes up, it's best, I guess. Million shares in a while. Basically just shares.
Yeah, cool. That's a good idea. Richard, if you're watching, that's a little bit of feedback. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Look, shares are shares. They're going up. They're going crazy. And, we're going to be very busy. Like, once this Pulsechain launches, we're going to be looking at Pulsechain price, P-Hex price, E-Hex price. I know that's not the name, but that's what we're going to be looking at. And, obviously our rankings on both sides too. I think a lot of people may be expecting cheap hex on the Pulse side.
I don't think it's gonna be cheap for any time almost.
I think you're right, Based Wife, and I think there may be a small delay in the price. But yeah, if you're counting on getting that cheap hex, you might have a small window of opportunity to get in. But I believe it will probably be corrected really, really soon because. Yeah, well, I was listening to David Feeder today, and he reckons that, a lot of people may, swap their E-Hex for P-Hex and whatnot. So there might be, people who just got in for the airdrop, they're just going to sell. So there might be a bit of a decline. That might be the time to get in. That might be the last chance for everyone. Hey, Chris Hall, thank you for the super chat. He says, great stream, everyone. Hex, E-Hex, and Pulse will change everything forever. Grab a seat on the rocket ship. Hell yeah. We are getting it. We are like so onto it. We are very, very lucky. And Sean Bubba says, who is the sexy lady on the left below? So it looks like Miss Victoria. You got a few fans, Victoria.
Awesome. You were talking about taking out that the hex is dropping out, like Freddie Quotes is dropping his song, Pulse is launching, and just so many things that are happening. I was hoping to get a confirmation today, but I think it's quite settled. I won't say what I'm about to do, but the only thing I can say, I'm going to take hex to a place it's never been before in the world.
Wow.
That's exciting. I love that.
Yeah.
So just look out between November and March. Between them.
All right.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I'll keep my eyes open.
And I'm glad you mentioned Freddie Quotes. Hi, Freddie, if you're not watching anyway. Yeah, he's got his new song coming out on Discourse next Friday. I believe it's the 1st of October. And someone may have heard that song and someone may have told me it's really, really cool. So, Hex Anthem was just freaking awesome. Any people I'm onboarding, I say we've got our own rock song. You got to check this out. Our own rap song, but it's just awesome. And he's got a new one out, which is, it's going to blow your socks off. Joshua Abraham, thanks for the super chat. Who needs coin ranking sites when you have an actual community? True.
Agree.
That's right. I actually think that point is so important to realize, like when Bitcoin became a thing, like when it was first emerging, none of this stuff existed, right? There were no coin ranking sites, like there were no influencers, there was no like crypto space as we know it, but yet it absolutely was just shared peer-to-peer by a community, by people just hearing about it on the internet and telling other people about it. And the community that we have here is so much stronger than what Bitcoin had in the early days. So if any of these like external challenges come up, I'm not concerned, because like the people involved are so high quality, obviously so engaged, and we're sharing it. Everybody's people are onboarding their friends all the time. So I think that's a thing we can always control in Hex. And so, yeah, you know, if some of these coin ranking sites are going to be doing what they're doing.
Did you? Oh my gosh, guys. Hey, Raquel, Michelle, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you here, man. And thank you so much for the $500. We appreciate your support. We can see you doing wonderful things. We know that you're Overwatch as well, and you're also in partnership. Well, you'll be heavy on the Pulse side of things. So thanks so much for watching today. We do appreciate your support. And, you know, as I've said before, you're welcome to come on the show. Everyone's dying to meet you, Rakham. So anytime, hit me up. And any other ladies watching, and any guys, of course, you know, if you want to come on with us girls, you know, if you want to come on to Discourse, hit me up on Twitter, Sammy Chica, or on Telegram. Just send me a message, and, you know, would love to see you guys. You know, the more the better. We love seeing new people in the community, and also making you guys feel welcome, because we all have a lot of fun, and you know, we want you guys to be a part of it too. And thanks for the super chat again. That's amazing. Sean Baba, thank you so much.
I want to recognize you, Sammy. It's so cool of your openness, and you're right. You know, you do make everybody feel welcome, and that was well, that's why I'm here, right? And it's just a lot of times with the internet, it's all one way, right? It's not easy to go the other direction. And so when you said that, I was like, wow, that's sounds like she's talking to me. You know, I'm gonna reach out, and you know, you responded, and you invited me here. So I want to just give you a big high five for that, and a big thank you for that. Because
thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. And, you know, as I said, love to meet you guys, and it's great that you can be involved in the community, because, you know, we're all investors, yeah, but there's such a fun side of it. It's like Richard Hart. He's really smart, and he knows his crypto like anyone else, but he's a really fun guy. Like, he does really cool things. He's for the people. And, you know, there's such a fun side to things, and we don't want people to miss out, you know?
And I think that, you know, just piggybacking on that, I never expected to be in a stream with any of you guys. I feel like I'm way too... it's too soon to call, even to, you know, to feel comfortable calling myself a hexagon, even though, you know, it's just been a couple of months, and it's so welcoming. It's so awesome being here. So yeah, I just want to piggyback on that and say thank you very much, Sammy, because it's awesome being here.
You're welcome. I love that you guys come on and want to talk to us. Hey, don't we, Serena Alonzi? Serena's also my partner in crime too, and she does a lot of work too.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's always great meeting the new people. So the more, the better.
Yeah, I know that you're like they've been calling you the OG of OGs. I did not know your story, and it's so inspiring. I just, you know, just in awe of all of you, truly.
Oh, thanks so much, and thanks so much for joining today. It's really lovely to meet you. There's a really important question on the screen right now, and I've got to leave for 1 minute, but I'm coming back. Wally Saurus says the most important question right now is Blaze married? Lol.
That's hilarious. Look, I can't give too much away, but that's a no. That's
all
a
right,
no.
guys, I'll be right back. Sorry about this.
No worries, Sammy.
So you're probably going to get some proposals soon.
I'm not sure if I've answered this effectively, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Base wife, where'd you say you were from?
Well, I'm originally from Mexico, but right now I live in the US, in Arkansas.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. How long have you been in the US for?
In February next year, it's going to be 2 years, so about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Yeah, cool. Do you miss Mexico?
Yeah, I'm going to go in vacation in about 3 weeks for the first time since we got here. So I'm really excited about that. And, you know, it's been just COVID here. The rest of the time, we weren't here yet, so it's a bit weird just being inside the apartment all the time. But it's nice. I think that might be one of the reasons, and I don't know if there's other people who also relate to that I really just pushed myself into crypto or just dove in. There wasn't any other thing to do in a way, but it was also a really good chance to really get to understand or to try to understand as much as possible. I don't think I would have been able to learn so much if I had a chance to do, normal activities at the same time. So it has a silver lining.
That's really true, and I can definitely relate to that. Like, I definitely don't think I would have Hex just purely because I wouldn't have been spending so much time on like YouTube and the internet and just like kind of being bored enough to scroll through whatever, and then just by chance seeing a video on it last year was enough to start the journey. So yeah, there are these strange blessings that you find in these situations. So I'm glad to hear that at least Hex has been able to bring you some joy and some excitement and some mental stimulation through all the boredom. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 hours a day that my husband and I are watching some or other crypto content, especially the Hexicans content, and also when Richard does his streams. But there's still so much that we aren't able to get to because there's a lot of content, and we're so glad to be able to watch it and to have the time and have something that is beyond just the screen. It's the community is real.
Yes.
Did you see the video that Richard posted this morning here about unboxing everything? It was awesome.
Not yet.
That was so
I want to
funny.
watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
But the thing I was thinking about, I was just, don't throw the box. I want the boxes.
You guys all laughed when you saw the part where he put like the brown coat on and walked back and forth. I was dying. That was like
with the big hood, he put the matching face mask, and he was just zipped up. He looked like a space alien. It was so funny.
Oh, it's too good.
Yeah, to see the bear, the Ethereum bear, how cute was that bear? Did anyone catch the price tag on that?
I can only imagine, but it's probably about 20K if it is anything like the Louis Vuitton one. It's probably around that.
Yeah,
I love his sense of humor. I was just going to say, I remember like earlier this year, like maybe around April or so, he did his very first one of those videos that was in that kind of vein of just like having a bit of fun and having a laugh. And I remember he was in his like silk robe. He turned the camera on. He was in his silk robe, and it just had his name on the back of the robe. And then he stood up and he put on this like the Louis Vuitton inflatable vest. And it was like a 4 or 5 minute video, and I just remember I was like, this guy is so funny. Like it's not the first thing you think about with Richard, but he's actually got such a sense of humor. I was absolutely losing it when I saw that video. It was so good.
He's so funny. He really is. He's such a big personality. I mean, I personally wouldn't probably spend that much on clothes, even if I was loaded. But if you love it and you got the money, I mean, by all means, enjoy it. That's what having money is all about, right?
Yeah, and it's like the way he does it as well, because he's making fun of the whole thing as well, and how ridiculous it is to be paying so much money for these bizarre items. So it's just like it's serving like two purposes. Like one is like it draws people in because there's a big audience for people who might be interested in these brands and all that sort of stuff. So he draws them in, but then he also kind of shows how ridiculous like the whole thing is to spend money on this. Like,
He said that he does it to try to get the audience that these brands have to watch Hex content, but it's also like, I guess in a way saying, hey, well, we're all gonna die someday, even though Sense is working as hard as possible to make that last as long as possible also. But if you're not going to enjoy, even if it's ridiculous, if you're not going to enjoy what you have a chance to, then it also defeats the purpose. There has to be some kind of balance, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anything that anyone wants to talk about? You know, I mean, everyone talks about when Hex hits $1. Is there any dreams that you guys have, or anything you want to do, any businesses you want to do with your Hex, any Hex flexes you've got in mind?
I have some ideas. So I would like to get some real estate, like have a nice house for myself, and then it would be cool to have some like other properties and rent them out and stuff. Obviously I would, you know, it's not mostly for the money because I have Hex, but just to own properties, like of course you want that. And then I really would like to get a big piece of land somewhere and have an animal sanctuary thing, and just so any animals that are unwanted can just go live there. And yeah, that's the things I want. And then a Lambo, of course, just because.
Cool, Serena. That's awesome. What color?
I kind of have 3 colors in mind. So I want either yellow or pink, because not anything to do with Hex, like purposely, those were always my favorite color combinations, like way before Hex. So that's kind of cool. So either one of those, or like mix, because the Hex one would be nice, or green, just because I like the color green. Just any green, bright green cars look really cool. So yeah.
You can also get one of each.
Or one of each. But knowing myself, I'd probably just have one car. I wouldn't really, you know, I could go crazy, but I don't know.
Or you can do like the Hex color outside and green seats.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, really
You can do anything. Anyone who's a Hex can do anything. So
exactly.
yeah.
I want a Camaro and a white horse. That's my dream.
Yeah,
Nice.
cool too.
That'd be really cool.
I want
I
to travel too. Like traveling would be, after all this stuff is done, I would really like to travel. So yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I would love to just travel around to some like epic locations, you know, maybe even become a citizen in a couple of them, be able to have some property or houses in different locations. That'd be really, really cool. Like that's my kind of Hex flex stuff. But then on the other hand, yeah, I'd just love to be able to do something to, you know, improve the world. So I work in mental health. I'm a psychologist. I'd love to have a little bit more of an impact there, and maybe do some things at scale that will like help people with their mental health. Also pretty interested in like education and how we can improve the education system, because it doesn't really seem like it's set up for the type of world that we're building. It's more set up for like an industrialized kind of society. So I'd love to see if there's an impact I could have there on that bigger picture, delayed gratification stuff, base wipe. Yeah, so they're some of my Hex dreams.
Cool. Hey, Serena. David Morales wants to come and live in your sanctuary.
What?
David Morales wants to come and live in your sanctuary.
I didn't see that comment, so.
Where is
I
it?
see now.
Here
Okay.
it is. Here it is.
Yeah. Sure. If you want to take care of the animals, then.
Anyone else? You know, cars or dreams. You know, want to share that with us?
I guess I'm still at the point where I really want to have all that, the financial security. That's something that when I was young was really hard to get by. I mean, Mexico is not like the greatest place for financial security, and I got to experience real hyperinflation when I was very young. So I just don't want to go through that.
Yeah.
I guess just the Hex Flex dreams will probably come after that is completely settled.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I know for me, I wouldn't mind getting a Ferrari like later on down the track. Maybe not a Lambo here in Australia, because then you got to get it converted, and there's not many for sale over here. But who knows? I'd probably get lipstick red because go faster. I mean, Base wife, I'm the same as you. You know, I mean, I think there's a lot of us Hexicans in the same boat. We didn't grow up with silver spoons in our mouth. Obviously, you know, money may have been an issue for many people. So having money is going to be a new journey for a lot of us. And I think something that's, you know, really consistent with the Hexicans is they want to help people. They're just like Richard Hart, and he's for the people and he's giving to people. He's making people rich. And a lot of the Hexicans, they're in exactly the same mindset. They're open-minded. They can see he's telling the truth. They can see he's a very compassionate man with a very big heart. And I think we all have the same thing in common is we want to help people. And that money that we're going to get is going to be helping many, many people.
Yeah.
Paul, did you have a Hex Flex, mate, or want to share anything about what you like to do? And I know you're very heavily involved in your mental and spiritual health organisation that you've got over there.
Yeah, shoot. I mean, I think this is like such an amazing time to be alive, right? Like this experiment is just off the charts, you know, to give financial stability and even like way beyond to so many people that may have never gotten it in the system that we live in is it just a phenomenal social experiment. So, you know, State of the Heart Recovery, that's I'm the founder and executive director of State of the Heart Recovery. It's a nonprofit program that is integrating state-of-the-art technology with healing. So think of it as a laboratory for solving the issues around substance use, mental health, and homelessness. So we're one of the only nonprofit opioid treatment programs, or also known as a methadone clinic, in the country, in the United States. So, you know, it's just a laboratory for creating the algorithm. And, you know, we're bringing virtual reality. We have a sensory deprivation tank. We do yoga. We do massage. Like we have this, a shout out to immunified.life. They're working, they're a crypto company, and they're doing this program with Africa, with the government and with the people there, where they're incentivizing them with like $2 or $3 to get them to go get vaccinated. They're helping them for the government to know who has or hasn't done it, and then rewarding them because it's a day's worth of pay that they lose to go into the city to get vaccinated. But basically, it's the ability to track and reward, right? So I go over to Walmart and buy $1,000 worth of gift cards every week and give them to the therapist, and then they're giving them to the clients depending on what goals and objectives they met. So we're doing it in a really cumbersome way. Like they literally I have to buy like 20 $30 cards and 20 $10 cards and 20 $50 cards, and then they're passing these cards out and writing it on a spreadsheet. And it's silly, but I mean it's really powerful, the work the impact that it has. So we plan to scale across the planet and just find out new beautiful ways to heal and empower communities, starting with the ones that are struggling the most. Which it's funny, you know, opioid treatment programs, methadone clinics, it's one of the only places you can find in a community where you've got people that are struggling with substance use, mental health, and homelessness showing up every single day, because the medically assisted treatment, you can't give it for more than one day at a time because of the possibility for diversion, right? They can overdose on it if they get too much, or they can sell it or give it to other people in the community and hurt other people. So it's a narcotic. I mean, it's a harm reduction model. Like it's substituting for the heroin. So as an onboarding tool for upselling people to empower their lives, it's a wonderful opportunity. But a lot of times, due to profit and how much profit is in that game, they call it dosing and going, right? Like a juice bar, you know, they just get it and leave. And by law, they only have to have 1 hour of therapy a month. and so, you know, we offer like up to 20 hours of therapy a week. So, and they want it. They want it. If you offer it, they want it. So I'm just thrilled about the potential for us to get involved in our communities and have a nonprofit model that's basically like a co-op, right? So everybody involved is getting paid better than if they would be doing it down the street anywhere else. Like if you're a teacher, you should be getting paid better than if you're, you know, I'm also a general contractor and a qualifying broker, realtor. And why do I get paid so much better for those trades rather than helping the community, right? So at State of the Heart Recovery, from the maintenance person all the way through to the nurses and medical directors and doctors, everybody is paid a premium compared to if they worked anywhere else for a for-profit company. So it's a hard barrier. For-profit companies are going to have to be challenged to say, hey, are we going to put more money back into our staff, back into our clients at the expense of profit? If they don't, what's the community going to choose? You know, a nonprofit model or a for-profit model? So I'm super thrilled about opportunity.
It sounds like you're doing amazing work, Paul. You know, and also giving back to the community, which is great. And there's obviously homelessness is a big problem all over the world. So sounds like that you've already got your wheels in motion for what you want to do in the future.
It's a miracle that we exist, and you know it interfaces with the whole financial security, right? So I didn't come from money, and to open up this company, you should really have like $1 million. I found out now. I had no idea. We're only a year old, so it was really a miracle. Like crazy merchant loans. I don't know if you guys have any idea what a merchant loan is, but it's like instead of going to a bank and getting a loan for like let's say a super high 15% interest rate, instead of that, you get this merchant loan, which isn't considered a loan, but you have to pay like $300 a day to pay it back. Like crazy. It's not even an interest rate. It's just nuts. And they're almost barely legal, but you know, it's crazy things like that have gotten us here, like doing nutty things to make payroll and just get from one place to the other. It's just been one miracle after the other. So here we are, and we don't have any investor that needs to be paid, you know, 50% of our profit on a daily basis. And so we can funnel all that money back, and we're finally taking an exhale. And thank God, you know, with cryptocurrencies and our possibilities in the future are going to really make a big difference. So I'm thrilled.
Cool. That's really cool. That's great. BMA says he's been addicted to many things in his life, but Hex and Pulse have worked out much better than all other stuff. So that's really positive to hear. Thanks for adding that. Hey, you know, ladies in the chat, I sort of put out some subjects on, you know, what we'd like to discuss on the show today. And, you know, women in crypto became, you know, a quite popular subject. So I just wanted to lay some hard facts down. So I don't know if anyone knows, twice as many men than women are in crypto. So it's a male-dominated industry. The gender gap exceeds the traditional investors. So in stocks and real estate, that gender gap is still quite large in crypto. According to Bitcoin markets, females now, though, make up 23% of all crypto users, and 41% of those crypto traders are women. I mean, we would never recommend trading. You know, I'm not into trading myself, and Richard has always advised that it's really bad. You can do a lot of damage. But if people know what they're doing, and, you know, these women obviously do, and there's 41% of them of the whole crypto industry, which was really actually quite interesting. You know, how do you guys think we can change that to make it more gender equal?
Well, just to chime in a little bit, the only people I have ever onboarded into crypto in general and into Hex are women. But I guess that's because besides, you know, just living right here with my husband because all my family is back in Mexico. In Mexico, my family is mostly women because, well, some of the men have died out, sadly, and besides that, it's just like much more tight knit amongst women. So I guess that one way might be for the women that are already in crypto to start talking to other women in our own networks, whatever they are, about it and explaining it in a way that is a little bit more approachable, because sometimes the way that you find the information in crypto might be a little bit too harsh. Maybe not the concepts to understand them, but the way that the language is used and how sometimes I guess it can be seen as if there's only guys talking amongst them, and it's hard to get a word in edgewise being a woman, both in chats and maybe in forums, everything. So just having a woman talk to you about it might be a little bit of an easier way for other women to onboard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to that. Like, I think a big part of changing what's happening is to understand the reasons why it's happening. And like from my point of view, you know, I know psychologically speaking, there are some pretty significant differences between men and women just in general, if you look at their personality profiles. Like, so for example, you know, women tend to be less disagreeable or more agreeable. So in a emerging industry like crypto, that is a little bit of a resistance to, you know, the mainstream financial world and perhaps some other aspects of culture at large. You may find that there may be a little bit more sort of trepidation among women to jump into something like that earlier on. So that's one of the things. The other big aspect of it, I would say, is something that's known as the confidence gap. So when men and women approach a field where they're new and they're learning, they'll have quite, like statistically speaking, and this isn't to say every woman's going to respond this way, every man's going to respond this way, but this is just the general kind of statistical trend will tell us that men are more likely to kind of dive in to an area where they think there's a gap in knowledge and just work it out on the fly, whereas women will wait longer, they'll learn, they'll make sure that they're 100% competent before entering into something new. And like we see that play out in lots of different scenarios, like the corporate world, for example, and other areas of employment. It might mean that women are less likely to put themselves forward for promotions and stuff like that for similar reasons. So this is just something to keep in mind, that there are some of these like personality, psychological things going on behind the scenes. And exactly as Base Wife was saying, it may mean that we just need some slightly different communication strategies. I think having some women being prominent, getting up, chatting, sharing their stories, I think helps make women in general feel a bit more comfortable to come forward and to see that, hey, she's done it, I can do it as well. So that's a big part of it. And I think the other part of it is likely just helping women to just kind of navigate the unknown a little bit more, and helping to kind of build that confidence. So yeah, they'd be sort of a couple of the things that I think are going on in the background that we could address pretty easily, I think.
Whoa, Blaze, that was amazing. You're amazing. I love your take on it.
So true.
No
worries. Well,
definitely communicating with other women, making them feel, you know, that they can do it too, and that they are valued, and then there's place for them to also get in and make some decent money, and just assisting our fellow females in the space and supporting them. You know,
100%, Tammy.
So basically there's a question, and, you know, everyone's going to have different thoughts on it, you know, about women's protection in crypto. So, you know, a lot of women may be early investors and they might be dating. You know, what do you ladies and gentlemen think about telling, or how long do you date after you mention crypto? Do you mention it at all? You know, is there any things that you think we should do or we shouldn't do, you know, in regards to that, just to keep ourselves financially safe? Obviously, we may be dealing with a lot of money, either today or in the future, and you know, it's something that we all think about but don't readily discuss it with a partner. It's just something that we could sort of talk about today.
I think you can absolutely say it to your partner, but you don't have to say how much you have, maybe. And it's also to maybe get them into Hex, Pulse. But you don't have to say how much you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know for myself where I've met some people and I've told them I'm into Hex and they're sort of like, oh, don't sell me anything. I'm like, no, bro, I won't, you know, like, but you know, you're like missing out on the opportunity of your lifetime. But, you know, that's not important because ignorance is bliss. And, you know, I'm happy with my positions. I don't care about anyone else's position. But yeah, I think, you know, yeah, telling people that you're in crypto is fun because, I mean, I like it. It's one of my favorite things to do and I'm passionate about it. But yeah, telling them how much money I have or how much investment I have is sort of like a no-go zone. And it would be, I suppose, for a lot of guys in the space too. I don't think they just rock up to dates and go, I'm a crypto millionaire or anything. But yeah, definitely it's a touchy subject, I think, for everyone. And, you know, they say not your keys, not your coins. So at the end of the day, whatever you do, tell them, and you do feel a little bit nervous about it. It's your keys anyway. So yeah,
right. Yeah. Like I think it's an interesting issue in crypto because it doesn't really feel like there's any other investment class where people would even think it's a question to talk about your net worth in something. Like, you know, no one would be sitting here thinking about like, should I tell my boyfriend about how much money I have in stocks? Like, should I tell them dollar amounts of like what my property's worth and that sort of stuff? So yeah, I completely agree. I think it's totally like fine to chat about crypto, and especially if it's like a common interest that you guys can chat about. And onboarding as well, I think it's fantastic. You know, like solve the problem by just like getting them on board, I think is a great idea as well. But yeah, like putting specific dollar amounts on something, especially early on, just doesn't seem like a very good idea. I'd have to
No, it's not a good idea. And even Joshua Abraham, thanks for your super chat, mate. Why would you talk about your personal finances before marriage? I think it's something you should discuss. I mean, you know, you want to know a lot about your partner before you jump into a marriage. Like that's serious, lifelong commitment kind of stuff. You want to know everything. Like I definitely think it's a massive point to discuss.
Well, to chime in on that, there's some pre-marriage courses that actually tell you that you should discuss it, but while you're engaged, like before marriage, but once you have decided that you want to marry that person. I guess you don't just go telling everyone what your financial situation is. I would be scared to do that, even though I have never been in that position. I haven't really dated anyone since I was 15 because I just started dating my now husband back then. But then I wouldn't, you know, imagine telling just someone who's basically a stranger. You don't know, especially I guess for women, it would be really, I don't know, really scary to let someone who you're not sure about yet know about that.
Yeah.
Sure. Serena, what do you think?
If I would tell my like boyfriend or someone or whatever.
Yeah, like where does that crypto conversation fit into dating?
Yeah. Well, if it was somebody new and I just started dating somebody, I obviously wouldn't tell them anything about what I have, but I would do my best to like onboard them into Hex so that, you know, hopefully they can, it's kind of late to catch up now, but I mean, you know, it would be, I don't know. I wouldn't tell them right away because that's not smart. Like somebody would use you for sure. So you have to be really careful.
Go digger.
I agree with what you were saying about like right before you're going to actually marry them and you're engaged. Maybe that would be the best time, but I would not tell somebody because that changes everything. So I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, can I just point out quickly? Someone in chat actually mentioned something. Did you guys see the CoinMarketCap tweet this morning about the hex that was deleted? Did anyone see that?
Didn't see
Yeah.
it, no.
Yeah, you saw it, Victoria. Did you see it, Blaze?
I didn't see it. What did it say?
Everybody has screenshots and retweeted it. Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all over Twitter at the moment if you jump on. I know Crypto Panda's got on his feed. But basically what they did is they put up a picture. Like it was they were basically having a laugh, pulling our legs, having a bit of a gag at Hexicans in regards to the coin rank listing. I'm just getting it up. So it's basically a meme. So they basically say Hex is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It is a certificate of deposit and it's going to take us to the moon, baby. And then there's 2 rockets and there's a picture of 2 people. And I don't really understand why they would tweet something like this. It's just a couple and this woman, she's sort of like got her tits hanging out and this guy like with her and like, yeah, he's like just standing there. And anyone in chat, can you sort of like elaborate on why they would post something like that and then delete it so quickly? I mean, you know,
There's one more. There's one more.
Oh, yeah?
Sammy,
Yeah.
are you able to share it on the screen so that like yeah?
I wonder. I'll just have a look. I don't know. I'll just have a look and see if I can.
No worries. That is a really weird thing to do, like especially in the wake of that whole like mysterious putting Hex at the right like placement on CoinMarketCap and then immediately like minutes later putting it back to 201. Like it's kind of strange.
The other one was with the code. Figure this out. It's what's it called? The ASIC code or what's it? I'm not sure. But when it translated, oh my god, I forgot about. But it translated something hex related, and that one was up much longer than the first one, the meme that you mentioned, Sammy.
Oh, yeah. So there was one before that. And did they take that down just as quickly?
No, it was much longer up, but maybe now it's gone.
No. See, why do they do that? Why do they? I mean, they're just so unprofessional. I mean, even their social media team should really take a good look at themselves because that's not very good advertising. And they're being watched. They've been put on notice anyway. You know, they've basically got a lawsuit against them. So I don't know why they'd be fooling around. And doing stuff like that. I'm going to try and share this, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like the timing is so weird. Like,
I don't know why they're fooling around and doing stuff like that. I'm going to try and share this, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like the timing is so weird. Like,
I don't know why they're fooling around and doing stuff like that. I'm going to try and share this, guys. Sorry, my
exactly. There we go. Yeah, like with the lawsuit that Johnny has been organising, then this weird movement of the market cap ranking, and now these really weird tweets from the social media profile. It's just, all around either really unprofessional or someone is like doing a really bad job at trolling us. Like,
but they're also trying to promote Rex, the copycat that they made on Binance Smart Chain. It's awful.
So gross.
I was just looking at the website earlier today and it just took away everything that makes Hex great. It's a copycat, but making it in a way that is so risky. For example, you don't have the option to stake for just 1 day. It's a minimum of 30 days, which I think is really fishy. I think that they're just trying to make sure a lot of people are staked and then do a rug pull. It's, not something that looks trustworthy at all.
Yeah, not at all. And like, especially I think that conflict of interest thing comes back into it as well, where like obviously CoinMarketCap is owned by a Binance entity. And so they're more than happy to obviously promote this scam amongst all of the other scams that they've promoted over the years, while relegating Hex to number 201. It's just gross, and like, to me, it's like, I can't believe they've gotten away with it for this long. And then the question is, like, surely this can't keep going on for much longer. Like, it almost feels like, there's some stress going on at CoinMarketCap as well, sort of given the pressure that's being applied to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Sorry about my technical difficulties. I was trying to share that. I don't even know if it came through, but it was just
It
doing
did
crazy.
for a second. It popped up and then it went.
Yeah.
away.
It threw me out. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on, but you can see it on Twitter anyway. They're obviously up to no good. So, that may work in our favour. Someone might take that into a court of law and say, well, this is how professional they are. They're hanging shit on, like, an asset, investors. Like, how dumb. But hey, Inviting Freedom, good to see you. You got to come on the show soon. She's awesome, Inviting Freedom. Lovely, lovely chick. So, guys, obviously we've got the dirty pirates coming on for Discourse soon, and we're going to wrap it up soon just to make the RG3 happy, keep the captain happy. When we were to end is, anything else you want to share with the community, and also where we can find you on Twitter or any other social media channels. If you want to start, we'll start with you, Victoria. You've been a very popular lady today in the chat with all your fans here.
That's great. Thanks for having me on this show. It was lovely and nice to meet all of you, not just that Twitter picture, I have no clue what to say.
No, that's all right. Blaze, did you want to say a few words?
No worries. Look, thanks for having me as always, Sammy. It's always a blast. I think most of the peeps know where to find me, so I'm just Blaze Makes Music on Twitter. I'm there on Instagram and Facebook as well. I've got a little bit of stuff coming up. I'll have a song coming up pretty soon, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm hoping it'll create a little bit of inspiration and positivity for the community. So written very much with the Hexagon community in mind. So I'm really excited about that. Just all around looking forward to seeing what comes of our magnificent community.
Oh, Blaze, it's always a lovely pleasure to have you, and thanks so much for joining us. Always love hearing what you got to say, and excited about hearing your new song. Can't wait to see it. Paul, would you like to share anything with us? You're muted.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Thank you so much, Sammy, to you and the ladies here. I'm super grateful of the opportunity. And Join Revolution Now is the YouTube channel, and Join Revolution X on Twitter. And so hopefully I'm going to be around a lot more, and I hope to see you all in Vegas. I'm super thrilled about that. That's going to be super fun. So I want to work with Maddie Allen and to hopefully be a little bit more involved with that if I can. But I'm super excited.
Awesome, Paul, and thanks for coming. Lovely to meet you. Based Wife.
Well, as everyone, I just want to say that I'm really grateful for you to having me here. I'm really grateful for both of your hosts, and I hope I can continue seeing you around on Twitter. And well, it's just the same handle, Based Waifu, in Twitter, and I'll keep watching your streams. They're really awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's lovely to have you, and you're welcome anytime. I'll add you to our chat, and you can just pop on when you're free. Just before we go, Serena, I just want to say just a shout out to Cash Plus. He says, great work for ladies. And thanks for the $50. We do appreciate you, but you should be spending that money on more hex. But anyway, not financial advice.
Especially now.
Serena?
Yeah, so what you just said, Sammy, get more hex. Just want to like remind people, for anyone thinking like, oh, maybe I want to wait, get hex cheaper. Like, no, get it now, because you're missing out on the free copy of your coins, and then you're also missing out on that daily interest. So it's always better to get your hex now. And if anyone hasn't seen Blaze's music videos, they're amazing. Like, Blaze, your song was the heartbeat one, or I believe that's what it's called. That was stuck in my head for the past couple days. Like, I've seen it a long time ago, then I recently rewatched it, and it's amazing. So
amazing. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it's really good. And yeah, for anyone who wants to follow me, my name is Serena Alonzi on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Yeah, so it's the same across all platforms. And yeah, buy your hex now and stake it. Get your copy. Don't miss out.
Awesome. Awesome. And excuse me.
Hello, ladies. And Blaze, how are you?
What are you doing here? How you going, you dirty pirate?
Well, I'm getting ready for the effing hangout, just like all of you are, right?
That's right.
It. That's right.
Yes.
Great
How
job.
you been?
What's that?
How you been?
I've been crazy. It's been absolutely nuts. It's been nuts. I just redid my studio. I had to turn it. I'm backwards now, and but I did get it up and running, and wanted to come in for just a second and say hello and say what an awesome job you guys are doing. Thanks for coming in once a month and doing your thing for the ladies. It's really, really cool that you continue to do it, Sammy.
Well, thanks for having us, and it's always a pleasure. I really enjoy it, Arjen. I love meeting new people like the lovely bass wife and Victoria. Every time we come on, and Paul. There's always, new faces, and as I said before, it's good they can come on and get involved, because we're open to everyone. We want to make people feel welcome and join our team.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Well, we're gonna be having the effing hangout. All kinds of cool stuff to talk about. Have you guys seen the movie trailer yet?
I've already seen the trailer. Oh, Jay, I've seen it about 100 times by now, I reckon.
This is gonna be so friggin' big, guys.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
And we've got that video coming out from the music video from Freddie's music video that we did. Amazing. I'm sorry, I've had this cough for like a week. It's been horrible. No vid though. No vid. I don't got any vid. But just got a cough. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump out. I'm all set. Everybody show up for the effing hangout. We're gonna be on in about 20 minutes. We'll see you guys later. Bye, ladies, and bye,
see
you guys.
Yeah, Jay. See you,
and he just took the words out of my mouth. Don't forget, boys and girls, the DS Syndicate is coming up with all your hex news. And it sounds like there's just so much exciting stuff coming up in the space. Of course, we've got Pulse, Testnet in a few days, Freddie's song next week, documentaries, music video from Blaze. There's just so much cool stuff. So stay tuned and follow the DS network. Join in all the fun. If anyone has any questions about getting in on Hex or Pulse, message me at Sammy Chica on Twitter. No questions too silly. Or if you want to come on the show, let me know. Thank you all for joining us today. Guys, if you want to hang back in the green room for a chat, you're welcome. We're going to end it off now. So everyone take care. See ya. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Six, 5, 4,
3,
2, 1.